Welcome to the quick start tutorial of flyNav. In the next 13 minutes you will learn how to use the basic functions of flyNav. To get a deeper view on the functions, please watch the advanced tutorials which are linked below. Let's open flyNav. Initially you will be asked to allow flyNav to use the location service. You need to agree here if you want to use flyNav as a navigation tool. After that, flyNav will recognize that you don't have any airfield or airport databases on your iPhone or iPad respectively. So please press download to get the current airport database. It has more than 8,000 entries. However, the file size is quite small with about 1 megabyte. Okay, then you need to accept the disclaimer. Here I need to mention that flyNav is a navigation tool for VFR. As you may know, it's generally not allowed to use a GPS navigation tool as your first source of navigation. It should only support your coupled navigation. Also, you need to consider that the data of the airfields and the airspaces could consist errors. Enough about the things you shouldn't do. Let's come back to the app. You see 4 buttons at the bottom tab bar. The first is the navigation display, which is shown right now. The second is the moving map view, which is very similar to other flight navigation tools. Then you have a route view for editing the route, and finally you have a setup view. Let's start with the general setup of the app. If you want to get airspaces displayed on your moving map, you should go first in the airspace section. Press installed airspaces to look which airspaces are installed yet. At the moment there aren't any airspaces installed on your device, so press the plus to download an airspace. You see that there are the most important airspaces available on the server. Please only install the airspaces you need, because the performance could get worse when you have too many airspaces installed. So in my case, I want to download the German airspace. Okay, after downloading, you can go back to the airspace main screen. Please click on Show Classes to define which airspace classes should be displayed on the map. You may want to activate or deactivate some classes. Let's activate the Q class, which are dangerous zones. Okay, let's go back to the main setup screen. If you want to change the units for distance, speed or altitude, just press Units. The defaults are kmh, km and feet. You may also want to log your flights automatically into GPX data. So let's activate this feature, and I really recommend this. The last thing you really should set up is the gliding ratio. This value is airplane specific and gives you the loss of altitude for a given distance. The default value of 0.1 means that your airplane loses 1 meter altitude at a distance of 10 meters. To get the right value for your airplane, you need to check your airplane's manual. Okay, these are the basic settings for flyNav. Now let's start planning a route. This can be done very quickly using the moving map view. So let's open it now. Initially, the map will be centered to a latitude and longitude of 0. So just zoom out and zoom in where you want to start your route. The pin on the map shows your current location. You should also see now the airspaces you have installed on your map, as well as the airports, which are marked as black colored circles. Make a long tap without moving your finger on the airport you want to start your route. In this example, I select Echo Delta Tango Foxtrot, which is the airport of my hometown. Now select New Route. You will see a dashed line from your current position to the first waypoint. Then zoom and pan the map to your destination airport. In this case, we want to fly to Echo Delta November X-Ray, which is an airfield near to Munich. Okay, here it is. Again, make a long tap on it and tap the button Append Waypoint. Now zoom out to see the whole route. In this case, it makes sense to define some more waypoints on the route. The easiest way to do this is to make a long tap directly on the route near to the desired position. Let us make a waypoint to Donaueschingen. And to Mengen. And finally to Lechfeld. Let us also make a predefined GPS waypoint near to Memmingen. I have to mention that flyNav has a great snap function, so if you drag a waypoint near to an airfield, the airfield will be selected. There are cases where this behavior is not desired. To avoid snapping, you can either deactivate the airfields while pressing the AF button, or you can increase the zoom level. In terms of a good overview, it could make sense to deactivate the airspaces as well. To do this, just press the AS button. To reactivate the airspaces or the airfields, just press the corresponding button again. Okay, now let's switch to the route view. Here you can edit your route manually. In the table you see your planned route waypoints with the cumulated distance from the start point to the according waypoint. You can add airfield waypoints by pressing the ICAO waypoint button. This is the suggested method if you don't know exactly where an airfield is located on the map. You can also plan manual GPS waypoints by the GPS waypoint button. But let us first save our route. Press the Save button with the disk symbol and type in a name for the route. In this case, Echo Delta Tango Foxtrot 2 Echo Delta November X-Ray would make sense. Then press OK. You can also reverse your route by pressing the Reverse button, and of course you can delete waypoints by sliding an entry from right to left. Let's delete the Lechfeld waypoint. You can also reorder the targets by pressing Edit and moving the rows. Okay, let's press Done and load back the initially planned route. Okay, now let's come back to the most interesting part, the navigation display. The navigation display consists of the course indicator at the top, the navigation circle in the middle, which includes all planned waypoints as green stars, and a speed and an altitude indicator. You can zoom in and zoom out by pressing the plus or minus button. The bearing to the next waypoint is displayed as a red line. To take the shortest way to the next waypoint, you should try to keep the bearing indicator aligned to the course indicator. At the bottom you see three buttons: the navigation button to start or stop the navigation process, a direct button to select a direct waypoint, and the emergency button, which I'll explain later. First, let us start the navigation. Okay, as you see the course, the altitude and the speed will be updated. The navigation display is a really plain instrument for lateral navigation. This makes it useful especially for small devices like iPhones or even the Apple Watch. However, you may want to use a classic moving map display. To do that, just tap the map button again. You see that the icon changed to an airplane because you started the navigation. Normally you want to link your map orientation to the airplane's course. To do that, just press the course link button, which is labeled with CL. You may also wondering what the red line is. This is the 5 minutes indicator, which means that if you hold your course and your speed, you'll be at the top of the line in about 5 minutes. For example, this is useful if you want to report your position via radio. If you now look at the top left corner, you see an indicator which gives you the current speed, the current altitude and the current course. Also, it shows you the takeoff time and the touchdown time. flyNav saves these both times until you start the next time. If you want to make changes on your route directly in the map, I suggest to unlink the map orientation to your course before editing. Okay, that's it. Let's go back to the navigation display. If you want to skip a waypoint, just press the direct button and select the next desired waypoint. All waypoints in between your current position and the selected waypoint will be deleted. Let's press Mengen. You see that the route changed. Okay, you can also use the direct button if you want to plan a new route to one of the nearest airports. To do this, press the direct button, scroll a little bit down to the nearest airfield section and select an airfield. Now your route is overwritten. By the way, this planning method is much better instead of using the map if you plan a route to a near airfield. The last button, which you hopefully never need to use, is the emergency button. If you press it, flyNav will automatically check if you can reach the nearest airfield. If yes, the route will be changed to the nearest airfield. If not, you'll be informed that there is no airfield reachable for you. However, you use this function on your own risk. Maybe there are airfields in your location which are not in the database of flyNav, or you may fly with a better or more worse gliding ratio as calculated. So please don't trust too much in this functionality. It's generally your decision what you do in an emergency situation. Okay, I'm at the end of the quick start guide. If you have questions, don't hesitate to contact me via mail or my website. Now have fun with flyNav.